folks, welcome back to the channel. So vintage watches, should you be collecting them? Is it the kind of thing that you like? What are the pitfalls? Now this isn't a strategy at all. This is just kind of what I found out. So what I've done is I've got a few of my my vintage pickups. I'll tell you how much I paid for them and where I found them and kind of what they are. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I'll end up with a massive long historical video, but we will start at the 2000s, so early 2000s. We've got this one here. One thing you should remember about any vintage watch is it's going to be smaller in general, especially if you get into the 60s or 50s or anything earlier than that. You're going to be kind of 33 mil. This one from the 2000s is actually a 40 mil. And the other thing is you've got to be prepared for the fact that at some point it's going to break. It's going to stop working. However, I've had this a few years now, and I've put 2 batteries in this and it's still going strong. Analog digital, as you can see, digital display works, all the buttons work. This is the one that you scroll through your stuff with. If you take a look at the digital display at the bottom, you've got your date displayed in there, and then you've got your dual time or second time, although it's yeah, you can set it to another time. A little bit complicated, a bit more complicated than a Casio, but there we go. And then we have an alarm. Single alarm is available on this, and then you have a stopwatch, and then you're back to your day and date. It does have a rotating bezel, 60 click. It's kind of industrial, and it does wobble about. But yeah, 40 millimeter. So from the 2000s, you're gonna find something around about 40 mil. It's got a nice low profile on it. It is not a stainless steel case. I believe this is some kind of alloy, and then a screw down case back. And there we go. There is the model number. This is the Constant TL317. But yeah, I mean, it's a cool watch. Just a nice thing to have in the collection. Bit retro. You know, if you're going to kind of a fancy dress that's sort of turn of the century themed, there you go, something like that. Obviously, this is not the original strap. This is a silicone strap. These are great, very soft, but they do pick up every little bit of dust. Anyway, that's another story altogether. So next up, we have a watch from a company which you probably wouldn't expect. There you go. And are we going to focus? Ronson. So yes, Ronson, better known for making lighters. This company was kind of bought out by a guy called Victor Kiam. You may remember him from the Remington adverts if you're as old as me. He liked the company so much, or liked the razor so much, he bought the company. That's the one. But yes, they diversified in the late 90s, early 2000s into wristwatches, trying to make the company profitable. Again, this is 40 mil. As you can see, it is quartz. Got a really nice dial on this. I mean, yeah, plenty. I mean, it's the seconds hand is almost lining up with the markers. Not bad for an old watch. Applied indices, date complication. Obviously, it's quartz, so it's dead accurate. The bezel on this is the usual, plenty of back play. 60 click. Nice low profile, very thin. I think the actual construction of the case is alloy again, press on case back. But this was new old stock. Found this on eBay and I paid 20 GBP for it. And Ronson only made watches, or had their name on watches, between kind of 99 and 2004, 3, 4, something like that. By which time it was all over. Yeah, lots of cost cutting, so they stopped doing that. And I think they're now owned by the same company that owns Zippo. But yes, another nice, cool retro watch. to have in the collection. Never had any problems with that. Okay, moving on to some automatics we have here. This is probably the smallest one that I've got, which is a Tissot, as you can see, and this is the B991 /992, and it has an ETA 2824 movement in it, so 4 Hertz, and I paid £35 for this in the local free ads. This is not its original bracelet, because I do actually wear this. It's yeah, I'm not afraid to wear smaller watches. You know, if that's not your thing, then fine. But yeah, I think this is really cool. This actually sits in my wife's collection most of the time. There is an original bracelet for it, which is one of those horrible stretchy ones. But yeah, it's there we go. Have a look at the movement. Quick look at that, and I'll put a picture of it running, or a little short video. As you can see, I've got a Seiko bracelet on at the moment. That's the one that fits me. But yeah, 33mm, 35.5 including the crown. But yeah, just a nice little watch, very clean watch. The loom doesn't work on it anymore, but yeah, can't be bad. £35 for a watch, Swiss watch, with an ETA 2824 in it. Moving along, we are into the 1980s now. This is the West End Watch Co. I'm sure you're probably, if you're a collector, you're well aware of these. West End, they were founded in the West End of London, hence the name, the West End Watch Co. But I think it was during the First World War. These were actually given to the Indian Army, the cavalry, and the Sowar, I believe it is kind of relevant to that. But yes, Indian military, and this one has the arrow on the back to denote military use, and this also has an ETA in it, which is a 2878, and I'll put a little video of that up in there. Nice clean movement. Size wise, this one is 36mm, and I'm quite happy wearing a 36mm. Actually, if you look at that alongside this one, they look, or the kind of the Tissot looks almost as big, but that's probably because it's all dial, whereas this has got quite a chunky case on it. They both have hand winding. The Tissot, even though it's got a 2824, does not hack, which is a bit odd, but they do have quick set dates. But yes, again, yep, just a cool watch. If you get yourself a Swiss made watch, and I paid 55 GBP for this. Yeah, pretty cool. Side profile, yeah, nice little watch. And I actually wear this one quite a lot, and the the loom on this is only on the hands, it's not on the indices, but the loom lasts for days. It is ridiculously bright and lasts all night. And finally we have a Secura diver. Now Secura, they eventually became Breitling. I will explain all in another video, which I'm doing on Breitling. So yeah, and their history. But yes, this has a brevet movement in it. It's a 38mm, late 60s, early 70s. This was another eBay find on bids. I think somebody was sleeping when this came up. Because I paid 40 quid for it, and these Secura divers for some reason tend to, you know, collect or fetch pretty decent money. I've seen them for sort of 250 GBP. The bezel on this, I've got that sort of stuck in place at the moment because it actually needs a new bezel spring. It's a bi-directional friction one. But no, that's set solid at the moment. No quick set date on this. The loom on this, it is the old tritium loom. So the initial glow for about 30 seconds is pretty immense. And then there's basically nothing. But yeah, there we go, the obligatory scuba diver on the back, and a fish as well. Yeah, nice watch, 38mm, as I said, so you know it's a good size even today. Obviously not the original strap on it. Not too sure what it would have had originally. It isn't automatic as well, as you've seen in the video of the movement. But yes, there you go. Just be aware, as I said nearer the beginning, that these automatics particularly, you know, any of these, you are probably at some point, they are not going to work, although I've not had any problems with these. I mean, this Tissot has been in my wife's collection for, I believe, 6 years now. So yeah, so the Tissot 80s to 90s, and this one here, the West End Watch Company, which is 1980s, and the Sakura from the 60s and 70s. All very cool things to have in the collection. But yeah, just bear in mind at some point they're probably going to break. It's just stuff that you kind of pick up as you go along, and I'm absolutely no expert in vintage watches, but I do think that they have a place in anybody's collection, and they're just some really nice things to have. Obviously, I mean, I would avoid buying anything that is in need of repair or servicing or anything like that. Some of them can cost a fortune to get working again, and for the most part they're not really worth it. But yes, there you go. Hope you've enjoyed having a look at a few vintage pieces, and there is, as I said, a video coming up particularly on Sakura and their tie-in with Breitling. Some people use the expression Sakura by Breitling, and that is not a correct statement. All will become clear in a future video. So please like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to hear more about Breitling and Sakura. But that's it for now. Just a quick look around some old watches. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Cheers for now.